Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Manny here. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in again. It's a wonderful midday here in Vienna. Well, wonderful might be a little bit of an over exaggeration here. We have gray weather outside. It's quite cloudy and quite rainy as well. It always drizzles a little bit down here, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with this day after I made this video. Maybe the gym, or I'm gonna try a little Merkenstein attack. We're gonna see, but the work ethic is high at the moment, so I want to get this video done. And it's a very interesting topic today going to be how much gym climbing do we actually need to become super strong outdoors? And this is a question that I myself asked myself quite frequently, actually, because my main goal is actually to become a very good outdoor climber. I don't care so much about the gym performance and stuff like that, you know. I want to rather utilize the gym as a tool to become even stronger for the outdoors. So the question really arises, how much gym is necessary to become super strong outdoors? And I realized that this is also quite relevant nowadays, where 95% probably of the people who are getting new, who are starting out with the sport, probably in some kind of big city, you know, they start in the gym. And I see this every day, you know, I mean, every day not so much because I haven't been to the gym for a longer time now, but I saw it quite often. Because, you know, I'm working in one of these gyms and I also used to train there quite a lot, and I'm still training there quite a lot, doing some coaching, you know, also giving a course and stuff like that, doing some route setting. A lot of people start climbing in the gym, and so the question really arises because I know that a lot of these people actually want to be strong outdoors. A little bit of my personal history here, maybe to start the video off. I started as a complete gym rat as well. I think the first 3 years of my climbing career, if you want to call it like that, I started in this very gym where I'm still at to this date, where I train still and where I coach people now. I started training in the gym basically by climbing boulders, building boulders myself, staying away pretty much from the campus board and the hangboard for the longest time. And that's how I started off. And after 2 to 3 years, I think, I remember someone came up to me and asked me if I actually have a climbing partner for going outdoors and stuff. And I said, no, I never have been to the outdoors. Is it good? I don't know. Do we even have outdoor cracks here around Vienna? I don't know. I have never seen one, you know. And then I realized that there is actually a lot of outdoor climbing, and I went outdoors with this guy, and that's when it made click, you know. There I had the interaction with nature. I had this aspect of that your successes that you have, once you have them under your belt, they won't go away. Because if you climb a boulder in the gym, then the route setter is gonna come after 2 months and gonna remove it, put a new boulder up, so your success is gone. You cannot go to someone else and say, hey, you know, I did this problem, try it yourself. You know, you can't really brag with your successes. And this is something that I always liked a lot when it comes to outdoor climbing. Your successes will stay there forever. I mean, for as long as this crag will exist, who knows? Maybe some kind of earthquake is gonna throw it off or destroy it at some point, who knows? But for the longest time, it's gonna stay there. And this is kind of the collector's aspect of being a climber. As a climber, you are a collector. You're collecting achievements from the environment, from nature, from crags. And I really like this aspect about climbing. And that's when I decided, okay, I want to get strong outdoors. But still, outdoor climbing would be rather the exception back then. Even though I had realized this, I would only go outdoors maybe once every 2 weeks or something like that, once a week. And still the main portion of my time would go into the climbing gym, into training. Also, you have to realize back then I had a lot more other responsibilities like school. I still went to study. I also had to join this military thing for half a year, which we have in Austria still. So I had a lot of other responsibilities. I couldn't do it. I could not do what I'm doing now, basically, which is getting as much outdoor meters and as much outdoor moves in as possible. But this changed, yeah. I mean, I followed this approach that I've described now. Very little outdoor climbing, a trip here and there, but the main portion of the time in the gym. I followed this up to like 1 or 2 years ago, which was the time when I realized a few things. and when I decided to change things up a notch. And one of these things that I realized, which led to this decision more or less, is that, when I've talked about this in previous videos quite a lot, and also in the very previous video that I made a short time ago about how finger strength fades away on rock climbing trips. When I trained over a winter indoors, because you have to realize here in Austria, outdoor climbing during the winter is kind of it's uncomfortable, man. It's really, really cold, and it's also for the most part quite wet. So if you're not very comfortable in below 0 degrees and dripping stalactites which hang from your project, then you're probably not gonna like it a lot. I mean, there are certain cracks which you can visit, of course, as in any area, I guess, but it's overall not the most pleasant experience yet, let's put it that way. So you spend a lot of time in the winter in the gym training for the next upcoming trip to the south. May it be to Spain, may it be to Greece. And that's what I was doing for the most part. And with these longer trips, I made them a couple of times and I realized something. If I would train the winter before that, full gas, go on the trip, then I would still need like 3, 4, even 5 weeks or something to acclimatize to this new area until I actually have the possibility to use the supposed gains which I hopefully acquired during the training time over the winter in the gym. Now, after 2 months, when this trip was over and I would come back to the gym, again, I would need 3, 4, 5 weeks until I would be acclimatized to the gym again to be even able to train hard again. You have to realize at some point, the more you're moving closer to your genetical limit, the more important it becomes to really spend time on your limit to become even stronger. It is not of much use if you're playing around on medium level moves for you. You really have to go full 110% into your training. And it's much better just to go on the hangboard like super fresh, make 5 really powerful max hangs than going to the hangboard after a session and make 15 so la la hangs, You want to go with everything you do, and the more you're getting higher up the grade ladder, the closer you get to your genetic limit, the more you have to go all out and really give it 100%. Now, if you have to acclimatize all the time to something, may it be the outdoor climbing, may it be the indoor training, then you're gonna lose time where you can't do that because you're not acclimatized. You don't have access to the 110%. And what happens over time is that you're struggling yourself into this big plateau because you're always acclimatizing to another thing. And this is one thing I've realized. At this point, you have to decide. You have to make a decision in what you want to really get good at, because climbing has so many disciplines. Guess what? If you want to be a competition climber, you gotta spend a lot of time indoors, man. You gotta climb a lot on plastic because competitions are carried out on plastic as well. If you want to become a strong outdoor boulderer, guess what you will have to do? You have to go outdoors a lot and boulder a lot. Get a lot of these hard moves in, maybe supplemented with a little bit of good campus boarding and good hangboarding indoors. If you want to become a good outdoor route climber, a rock climber, a lead climber with super hard red point goes and nice on-sighting and nice flashing, guess what? You will have to do just that, man. You will have to get those meters in, get the experience in, and maybe supplement it with outdoor bouldering, because outdoor bouldering is what's gonna give you these cruxy super hard moves, which to some extent mimic the hard sequences on a outdoor route. You know what I'm saying? Maybe supplemented with a little bit of campus boarding and hangboarding again. But the main part of your efforts should be what you want to get good at. And this is what I've realized, and that's why I changed my approach here again as well, and trying to get a lot more outdoor meters in, and also trying to get a lot more outdoor bouldering in. Up until this point, I didn't even own a crash pad, because I would only train in the bouldering gym indoors, and on the rock outdoors I would only train in the form of lead climbing. So you see, I wasn't really balanced there, and I have the feeling that I am much more balanced now. Another thing is, and this is something that I've realized as well, the really strong guys, a lot of the pros, actually don't do it any differently. I was now recently in Tijuana, met Danny Andrada and Chris Sharma in person, and they don't do it any differently. If you believe that Danny Andrada spends a lot of time in the gym, I don't think so, to be honest. I don't think so. He spends a lot of time at the crag, actually. Same goes for Chris Sharma. Same goes for other pros. Even guys like Ondra and Megos, they spend a heap loads of time at the gym on huge trips, and they have the time to be able to do that, you know. They also, on top of that, spend also a lot of time in the gym. That's true. That's definitely true. And but I don't know, I think the more important part, the more important contributor to their amazing outdoor performance is actually their experience, which they have gathered over these trips, over the course of these trips, you know, all these meters outdoors, these super hard meters. That's what really made them strong on the outdoors, at least in my opinion. Correct me if I'm wrong, post your opinions in the comments down below, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, what I want to say is, I'm getting more and more impressed, really, more and more fascinated. My fascination is beyond measurement, you could say, for these all-rounders who can do all these various disciplines on the highest top level. And I gotta say, I'm really impressed by Adam Onra here, who did not only manage to master outdoor route and bouldering, outdoor route climbing and bouldering, but also mastered competition route lead and bouldering at the same time. I mean, that's totally insane for me. And even I'm far away from his level. Already for me, I have the feeling that these are actually completely different sports. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But anyway, that's the little story on why I believe that if you want to get strong outdoors, you gotta invest your time into outdoor climbing. That's just the way it is. You can, of course, supplement your outdoor experience a little bit with training indoors. As I said, the most powerful weapons here are probably the campus board and the hangboard. But still, the main effort has to go to the rock, has to go to experience. And especially if you want to be a route climber, an outdoor lead climber, don't forget outdoor bouldering to supplement your lead climbing with really limited moves, because that's gonna give you this edge for, you know, really cruxy routes and stuff. On the other hand, it might be useful again for an outdoor boulderer to try outdoor route climbing for some time, to get a little bit back in that endurance mode, get some more technique in, and, you know, do a couple of more moves back to back, get that power endurance stimulus going. And this is gonna make you overall a much more complete climber, and that's never a bad thing in my opinion. So yeah, to sum this up here real quickly, in my opinion, if you want to get strong outdoors, get a lot of outdoor meters in, and that's why I changed my approach. That's why you see a lot of these outdoor bouldering videos now from me, and much less of these training vlogs that I used to shoot earlier. But don't worry, they're gonna come back again. Actually, it would be really interesting to see what my current performance is on the campus board, for example, because I haven't touched it for such a long time, and I feel super strong actually on the outdoors. So I would expect that it's not as good as I think. Given my outdoor performance, it should actually be really good. But since this is yet again another sport, campus boarding is a completely different sport than outdoor climbing, I think it's gonna be actually not that good. But we will see. I think that's gonna come up quite soon actually. On a final note, I wanna say that it is quite hard, if not even dishonest, to talk about this whole subject without talking about privilege. And I've managed this I've mentioned this, I should say, in previous videos already. Not everyone has the time to go outdoors all the time and, you know, grind these meters out in outdoor crags where you have all this variety, being on a trip permanently. Not everyone is a sponsored pro who can do that. So yeah, I really I'm even more impressed by people who run regular jobs, who have families, and who, despite that, manage to be really strong outdoors. Because I'm very well aware that to have all this strong outdoor performance, you have to invest time into this. You know, you have to get the experience. So yeah, in the end I can say we all have to make the most out of the time that we have. Privilege is definitely a significant factor which will determine your max outdoor lifetime grade, in my opinion. So yeah, definitely make the most out of your time. I hope you've got something from this video. If you did, please drop some likes and opinions. I would be very interested to hear them, and I'm pretty sure that other people would appreciate them as well. And until then, stay strong, my friends. I think I will go now and attack Merkenstone, get some more outdoor meters in and see if it rains there and if it's wet there or not. Anyway, before I start rambling, let's finish this video up. See you soon in the next one, guys. Bye.